Welcome everyone back to weekly weather updates, and in today's video we're going to have a look at the latest on very cold and snowy weather that is going to be arriving within the next 48 hours. Cold Arctic air is now starting to sink southwards and will impact all come Sunday afternoon. Now we have got our first weather warnings issued for Northern Ireland and widely across Scotland for snow showers through Sunday and Monday. They are preliminary warnings and I'm sure they will be updated quite significantly over the next couple of days, and I do suspect we will see further warnings as well issued for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and the latter part of next week. Now, in today's video, we'll continue to have a look at the various precipitation charts, but of course, now that we are in a relatively short time frame, we'll be able to have a look at more of the higher resolution, shorter range runs. We'll look at the UKV, we'll look at the UK Met Office Global Run, which is similar to the UKV, slightly lower resolution, but goes out to 7 days, and then we'll have a look at the Icon Run as well. And then, of course, we'll finish up by having a look at some of the longer range charts, looking at what they're showing for the pressure patterns as we head through next week, and we'll have a look at their precipitation charts as well to see what sort of disturbances and areas of snow they have next week. So do remember, if you enjoy my videos, make sure you like and subscribe. And remember to follow me on Twitter as well, the link's in description. Now, if you start on the live radar, it is widely dry at the moment. Thick cloud around as we have got quite humid, mild air aloft, but at the surface it is still relatively chilly. Now, this milder air that's mixed up within the high pressure is going to get pushed away over the next 24 hours, and you can already see that happening across Scotland, where we have a rain band. Now, you think, well, a bitterly cold northerly's coming, so why isn't this at least got a bit of snow mixing in? Because this is the transition from the mild, mucky conditions we have at the moment to slightly fresher, colder polar maritime air, but not the really cold stuff that starts to move through as we head through tomorrow, through Saturday. So this is the starting signs of a transition to colder conditions, but first we've got to get the mucky, milder air out of the way, and then the real Arctic flood will arrive. Now, if you look at the temperatures, even though the upper air temperatures are pretty mild, you can see at the surface it's still relatively chilly. Further northwards, we've got areas of clearer skies. Temperatures are still hovering around the low single digits or just about freezing. Even further south and eastwards, it's got up to around 5 or 6 degrees today, still pretty chilly. And you can see the temperatures are starting to drop away. And over the coming days, we're likely to see these lighter blues dominate and perhaps even see some of these pink and purpley colours that we see up towards Scandinavia and Russia. These sort of temperatures perhaps overnight as we do get towards the depth of winter, with the very cold conditions arriving, especially Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. So do have a look at those weather warnings as we start on Sunday. We've got a snow and ice warning issued for northern Scotland for the full 24 hours. Again, it is a preliminary warning, so it is going to be covering a broad area. So not all of these areas will see the heaviest snow. It is going to be variable because they are snow showers. Could see streamers set up with this northerly wind, but these regions are highlighted as seeing the highest risk of snow at this stage. Again, for the full 24 hours of Sunday, and again, we are going to see snow showers start through the second half of Saturday. Could see 2 to 5 centimetres in quite a few areas. I suspect from the looks of the latest precipitation charts, we could see even more, especially as the snow continues into Monday. High likelihood lower of the impact matrix at this stage. But into Monday, we see that warning continued but reissued as likely to see those impacts rising. And you can see that higher impact now, lower likelihood. So you can see how they have used the impact matrix to show that Sunday, they are pretty sure that we're going to see low-level impacts of snow, but as we head into Monday, the impacts rise, but lower certainty. Again, we're looking at 2 to 5 centimetres, perhaps, again, that will be on top of the snow we saw on Sunday, and some areas could even see 10 centimetres if we see a streamer set up or very heavy snow. Remember, this is snow just from this warning. We're going to see snow in the days preceding this and snow in the days after this as well, and it could mean some areas get up to a foot of snow come the middle part of the week. If you have a look at another warning, we've got this for Northern Ireland, 3 a.m. until midnight on Monday. Again, for showers increasingly falling as snow. Again, we could see up to 5 centimetres over higher routes. And again, this will be updated nearer the time. At this stage, high likelihood, lower end of the impact matrix. Again, looking at the latest runs, there is going to be quite a bit of snow around for some, but because of the showery nature, it is going to be hit and miss. Some areas could only see a centimetre or two, other areas could see 5-10 centimetres, and others could see very little at all. So do go over to the UKV now and have a look at the next 5 days. You can see this preliminary weather front moving through, a bit of cloud and drizzle through the early hours, and then we start to see some fresher northerly winds arrive. Initially rain showers, but as we head through Saturday afternoon into the evening, those showers become snow over the higher ground of Scotland. Through Saturday evening into the early hours of Sunday, those showers start to become more widely snow and start to increase in intensity and in volume. Then, as we head through Saturday, Sunday, these snow showers really start ramping up, and we start to see actually some quite heavy, potent showers start moving in through much of Sunday, and then the really heavy, widespread stuff arrives through Sunday evening. This is why I said there is a real possibility that some areas get an absolute caking through Sunday evening. You see, initially, the warning as issued by the Met Office and from the precipitation charts really is only, there's only really going to be some heavy snow across Scotland initially, but then those showers start to ramp up across Northern Ireland, could drift into North Wales here, down the east coast as we head into Monday, and as I said, because it is a northerly wind, a direct northerly, it is unlikely to impact the sort of the spine of the country at this stage. Northern Ireland, parts of the Republic of Ireland, Wales, southwest England, and eastern England are likely to be affected, mainly though coastal areas for eastern England there. Now, these snow showers continue to barrage in through much of Monday. Again, even East Anglia could get absolutely peppered by showers here through Monday afternoon. And again, no risk of any rain with this. The air mass is bitterly cold. Through Monday into Tuesday, we start to see a bit of an interesting feature develop out in the Atlantic. Now, this is the talk of disturbances and troughs developing. And this is what we see. We see a wedge of slightly milder air. Now, what happens to that milder air will decide if we see a bit of mixing with this system and the intensity of any winteriness. Now, the UKV here pushes this precipitation and snow in, initially for Northern Ireland, parts of the Republic of Ireland, and Scotland, with some of it changing to rain. As it pushes further inland across Scotland, really quite heavy, persistent snow through much of Tuesday, and snow starting to fall across parts of northern England as well. But again, it could fall as rain to low-lying areas as there is a wedge of milder air. It isn't particularly mild, it's still going to only be 2 or 3 degrees at the surface, but higher up, the dew point could just about drift above freezing, and that prohibits snowfall. Through the rest of Tuesday, that winteriness spreads eastwards and could spread southwards as well, and we could see some winteriness there. But as I said, because it's a milder wedge, there's a bit more uncertainty with the precipitation typings. But there is huge variation between the runs at this stage. Some areas have quite widespread snow here. Others, like the UKV, have got a bit more mixing and have that precipitation mainly further northwards. Once that clears, the northerly wind returns and we see more heavy snow showers in the north. And again, these could drift further inland as the flow starts to change direction towards the middle to latter part of the week. And I suspect, again, we could see more disturbances starting to appear within this as we progress over the next couple of days. The first real disturbance is that system through Tuesday into Wednesday. And of course, there is the risk of persistent snow still in the south from this system that is just off screen, but the UKV takes it into northern France. Other runs today, though, like the GEFS, are still taking it into southern England. So we've still got that big discrepancy there. If you look at the upper air temperatures, you can see over the coming hours the Arctic flood is arriving and bitterly cold air is arriving for all as we head through Sunday. Absolutely frigid, widely below minus 10 degrees at 850 HPA. Temperatures not getting much above freezing on Monday, and for the subsequent days, apart from perhaps Wednesday, depending on that mild wedge, will not get above freezing either. Absolutely freezing. You can see that mild wedge there through Tuesday afternoon into Wednesday could just lift those temperatures above freezing in places and give a rise to those dew points before the Arctic flood returns through Wednesday. If we have a look at those dew points, you can see they are frigid through Sunday, widely below freezing, so it means all precipitation falling out the sky will be snow. But as I said, as we head into Tuesday and Wednesday, look at that slightly higher dew points drifting in from the west. They really do get squeezed out eventually, but they just about linger as they spread southwards and again could provide slight areas of rain or mixing. But of course, the issue we get is because the surface is so cold, we could actually see freezing rain with this sort of pattern. That's not something that the models can pick up on too well at this range, but there is the risk of ice rain, freezing rain, whatever you want to call it. So we will have to see, but this is the sort of setup that can produce that. We see rain falling up the sky, but still very cold surfaces and temperatures at the surface. So if you look at max temperatures, you can see today only 4 or 5 degrees, chilly, but nowhere near as cold as it's going to get. Overnight tonight could be a frost in a few areas, but most areas can hover around the 1 or 2 degree mark. And tomorrow again could get up to 4 to 7 degrees, chilly, average to maybe slightly below average, but nothing spectacular. As we head into Sunday, though, colder temperatures will start to arrive. Overnight could see a frost again, but again it will be locally where we see clearer skies. As we progress into Sunday, temperatures starting to dip. Scotland, Northern England, freezing or below freezing by the afternoon. Further southwards, 5 to 7 degrees. Through the evening, widely, we are going to all fall below freezing, and it is going to be the first bitterly cold night of many to come. And by Monday, look at that, hardly anywhere, especially further northwards and eastwards, and even to the southeast, going to get above freezing. Further westwards and southwestwards you go, further away from the bitterly cold air, will mean temperatures may just hover around 2 or 3 degrees, but for most, potentially an ice day incoming, and very likely for northern areas and across Scotland. Through Monday evening, widely below freezing, -4 to maybe as low as -10. It's looking quite widespread. And then into Tuesday again, another ice day risk, but temperatures may be slightly rising a little bit there, maybe 2, 3, 4 degrees. Sometimes the temperatures do overdo it a little bit at this range. But again, a risk of ice days in places again. And then into Wednesday, again, we see that milder wedge move through overnight. That's why the temperatures don't drop quite as low through Tuesday. And that's the same reason why those Tuesday afternoon temperatures are slightly higher, because that milder wedge. And then into Wednesday afternoon, temperatures are packed down towards freezing ice day. Ice day again possible on Wednesday. So looking bitterly cold, but all eyes are on that disturbance of that wedge of milder air as we head through Tuesday and Wednesday. If you compare to the UK Met Office Global Run, it should show something pretty similar to the UKV, as it is a Met Office operational run, but it is low resolution and runs out to day 7. Do run through, you can see the wintry risk arrives on Sunday, and we start seeing more widespread snow showers through much of Monday and into Tuesday. We do see that system arrive from the west, giving quite heavy snow for northern areas, but again mixing in some milder air potentially before it drifts southwards, and again could bring snow on its back edge as it drifts through. Into Wednesday, we see that snow further southwards, and then we continue the snow showers widely further northwards as well, before we get towards the latter part of the week, and we could start to see more widespread risk, especially further northwards, as we do see those winds veer northwesterly. So it is quite a complex picture, lots of areas of showers around. You may be looking at it and thinking, it's staying all further northwards and westwards. But remember, at this stage, we are looking for disturbances and things like that that will really only crop up at a day's or two's notice. Again, the models are doing their best at looking at what is going to be happening, but they do struggle as some of these systems are very small and sometimes can't be picked up, even by the best models, even at a 3 or 4 day lead time. Remember, we're looking at 5, 6, 7 days away. We've had issues with the overall pressure pattern at this stage, so the models aren't going to get the exact precipitation typing or exact precipitation positioning or even intensity correct. So always take these charts with a pinch of salt. It just shows you the potential. The next sort of 3 or 4 days, we have a good idea. Out sort of Monday time, we have a very good idea what's going to happen. But Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday time, still massive uncertainty. If you compare to the Icon run, as we progress over the coming days, we do see that northerly wind arrive. Snow showers form many in the north through Sunday into Monday. We've got a good idea of that. You see almost a wall of snow. Again, because it is slightly low resolution, doesn't pick up on everything, but it is unlikely to be a wall of snow. It will be more patchy than this, but nevertheless, heavy snow showers packing in through much of Sunday, and then really ramping up on Monday, especially for western coast and northern and eastern coast as well. Through Monday, we start to see the wind veer more northwesterly. That could allow the snow showers to drift further inland, further westwards. And then as we head into Wednesday, we see that disturbance start to arrive from the west. And you can see heavier rain out in the Atlantic, but it does start to turn to snow further inland. Could be mixing again, but it does clear out into the North Sea, dumping a good few centimetres of snow at least. And then we see that system further southwards, could just about clip the south coast. And then we see more disturbances out in the North Atlantic that could move through through Wednesday and Thursday. You can see that with these little kinks in the isobars indicating that we've got a little disturbance in the flow there. Again, that could bring enhanced precipitation as we do progress through. We will just have to keep a very close eye on this, and as I said, it is likely to change quite significantly over the coming days. If you have a look at the latest GFS though, again we'll run through this quite quickly as we are concentrating mainly on those precipitation charts and the shorter range. You can see the northerly winds arrive, and you see it's a very unstable flow, and we're likely to see things develop within those darker blues over the coming days. Eventually though, the GFS breaks it down as we head towards next weekend. I am pretty sceptical of this, as the longer term drivers are predicting blocking to continue, and even the UK Met Office run today, for example, is holding on to some higher pressure even as we head towards next weekend. So massive uncertainty with the breakdown of this colder spell, but the GFS goes westerly and it does what it does, and it produces some really quite big storm systems as we progress to the end of the month. If you look at the GFS precipitation charts, again, relatively low resolution, but we'll run through them anyway because we have done that for the past few days. Again, you can see the snow showers arriving through the weekend, heavy snow for many in the north, and then eventually, as we head in towards the middle of the week, we see snow move in for Scotland as that disturbance moves in, and then for southern areas, we actually see that snowfall clip, sort of the London area, M4 line southwards. So GFS actually takes that heavy snow risk further northwards again. So again, just shows you the uncertainty as early as Tuesday or Wednesday. Beyond that, that snow risk moves away, and then we see continual showers, and again, the winds veering more northwesterly means those showers could come further inland as we progress through Friday, before eventually it starts to break down. If you look at the GEM, again, northerly winds arriving over the coming days, very cold and wintry, and continuing through to the end of the week, for eventually the westerly winds break through Saturday and Sunday next week. But again, showing something very similar to the GFS, but again, I have got some scepticism exactly how this will break down. Yes, it is likely that the westerlies will break through, but I don't suspect it will be this clean and this easy. It never is. Always a little bit more messy than this, with slower transitions. If we do compare to the GEM precipitation charts, again we see northerly winds arrive, very cold, wintry conditions for many northern areas, but even there you can see through Sunday afternoon even drifting some snow showers further inland, so even some discrepancies in the 48-hour time frame. This is showing snow perhaps across parts of central England there, drifting further southwards as well. So very interesting from the GEM there, developing more snow within the flow further inland. As all those snow showers continue to drive in, you can see that area of snow moves in, and the GEM has it all falling as snow. So we could see some significant snowfall here, eventually clearing through, and we see loads of little disturbances in the flow for Wednesday and Thursday, all giving enhanced snowfall risk. And again, could be seeing some snow across southern and eastern areas again, uncertainty with its exact extent and intensity. And then we progress through Wednesday and Thursday, and eventually we start to see it break down, but break down with snowfall as it does slowly start to clear through the following weekend. If compared to the ECM though, if it's only just updating, but you can see over the coming days, northerly wind arriving, bitterly cold conditions, and then eventually that low does start to get broken down by the Atlantic, and it drives through at day 10 with a strong flat westerly with very mild conditions starting to re-emerge. If you look at the precipitation charts, again, snow showers driving in from the north. We see that system move through Tuesday into Wednesday, bringing snow again in places. And then we see the heavy snow drift to our south across parts of northern France there. And then the flow changes to a more of a northwesterly, and that could again, through Wednesday and Thursday, drag more showers inland. But I do suspect we'll see more features develop in the flow like the GEM does have. So again, it is looking very wintry in places. If you're looking at this and thinking, it doesn't look like there's any snow where I am, then again, things will change. This is not an exact forecast of what will happen. It's just what the models are showing at this stage. Again, from experience, definitely it does underdo the widespread nature of showers and disturbances developing at very short range. So it is going to be one of those. We just got to keep an eye on the models, keep an eye on the videos, of course, over the next couple of days, as I'll keep you updated on any of these disturbances. Because, of course, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're looking at a disturbance, maybe even earlier than that, like the GEM suggested across parts of central areas, showers continuing. And again, it will be all down to exactly the wind direction and any little lows that do crop up. If you do have a look at the latest ensembles, these latest GFS, again, mild at the moment, turning very cold for at least a week. You can still see those upper air temperatures rising as that little low develops, and again, even for London, showing some heavier snow in places. Beyond that, we do progress, and we see those upper air temperatures rise. That's where the majority of runs go, but again, uncertainty with the exact timings, whether it cools down next Friday, Saturday, maybe Sunday, Monday, and it does go generally average with very up and down temperatures. The 2 meter temperatures, though, are frigid. Look at that, hardly getting above freezing for about 5 or 6 days next week. It is going to be truly freezing, and the dew point widely well below freezing. Snow depth as well, spikes appearing for London, but again, still being 3 or 4 days away from the risk coming to London. We are still going to have to wait and see what the shorter range models do, as the ensembles will pick up on stuff, but they will only really pick up on the shorter ranges. We are looking a lot at high resolution models to pick up on these disturbances and things like that. The low resolution runs, like the ensembles, will pick up on, but only at very short lead times. If we finish by looking at the ECMWF, again, very cold conditions this week. Again, we got this risk of heavier snow through the middle of the week, as we do see some slightly milder air move in. And then you see the longer range, ECMWF got quite a bit more scepticism on the breakdown of the cold. Some runs even holding it out for another 10 days or so, or even longer. But the majority do go milder, and that is the theme at the moment. We'll just have to keep a close eye on it. And I do just want to finish by having a look at Glasgow, because Scotland looks like it's going to be peppered with snow. Look at that. Lots of heavy snow arriving. Could see 10, 20 centimetres across quite a few areas as we progress through the latter part of the week. And you can see, look at that. Even for Scotland, the ensembles are not predicting temperatures to get anywhere near above -1 or -2 for a major city like Glasgow. It just shows you how cold it's going to be in places as we do head into next week. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you have enjoyed. Make sure you stay tuned to the videos, of course. Keep updated with those shorter range models, and of course with the latest warnings. We've got preliminary warnings issued now, but I'm sure they will be updated and we'll see more warnings issued. It could be one of those sort of events where we see lots of warnings issued, so it can get a little bit hectic, but I'll try to keep you updated every day with what is going on. So as I said, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you again for another video soon.